Every morning, the world wakes up pretending. Pretending to care, pretending to smile, pretending to love. And sometimes, the people who say "I've got your back" are the same ones sharpening a knife behind it. Because not everyone who's around you is really with you. When life starts shining, everyone wants to stand in your light. When you rise, people call you brother, family, friend. But as Steve Harvey said, everybody that's with you ain't always for you. It sounds harsh, but it's real. Some people stay close only because they like the view of your success, not because they care about the climb it took to get there. He was the one everyone called when things went wrong. The one who stayed late, who listened, who gave, who fixed, who never said no. He thought loyalty meant giving until he was empty. But life has a way of showing you, loyalty is not measured by what you give, but by what they do when you have nothing left to offer. And for a while, it feels good. Being needed feels like being loved. Until one day, you need them, and the phone stays silent. The messages are seen, but never answered. That's when you realize, some friendships have an expiration date you didn't read. Betrayal never comes from strangers. Enemies can't betray you, they don't have access. It's the ones you trusted that hurt the most. The ones who smiled while slowly disappearing when you needed them most. Steve Harvey said that for a reason. You can't tell everyone your plans, not because your dreams are fragile, but because people's intentions are. Some will cheer for you until your success outshines their comfort. He didn't see it coming. He thought their laughter meant support, but it was envy in disguise. Some people don't hate you for failing, they hate you for trying. Because your effort reminds them of everything they gave up on. You'll learn, the loudest ones during your rise are often the quietest during your fall. They'll vanish, and then pretend they were never close. That's not friendship, that's convenience. Steve Harvey once said, "Everybody that's in your boat might not be rowing, some are drilling holes trying to sink it." That's the truth. While you're busy pushing forward, some sit beside you smiling, but secretly hoping you drown first. Pain teaches more than peace ever could. The moment you realize you don't owe anyone access to your peace, you begin to grow. The fewer people in your circle, the clearer your vision becomes. He wasn't angry, just tired. Tired of being available to people who were never present for him. And that's when something changed. He stopped chasing people and started chasing purpose. When you remove the wrong people, the right things start flowing in. Sometimes, God won't bless you until the noise is gone. Because blessings need quiet rooms to grow. Clapping doesn't always mean support. Smiles don't always mean love. You must learn to move even when no one cheers, because your journey belongs to you, not to their applause. He finally realized something powerful. Loneliness isn't punishment, it's preparation. When you walk alone, you discover who you are without validation. You stop needing attention and start attracting peace. Because in the end, you'll lose 90% of your circle and gain 100% of yourself. Betrayal isn't just what they did, it's what they took from you. Trust, time, energy, all gone in seconds. And it hurts, because you gave it freely. You believed loyalty was a mirror, that if you gave it, you'd get it back. But life doesn't always work like that. The truth is, people change when seasons do. When you're on top, they cheer. When you fall, they vanish. And as Steve Harvey once said, everybody that come with you, can't go with you. Some are only meant for chapters, not your entire book. He replayed every moment, every laugh, every shared secret, trying to find where it went wrong. Maybe it wasn't them that changed. Maybe he just started to see clearly. Sometimes God removes people from your life because He heard conversations you didn't. You'll find out who's real not when you win, but when you lose. When the lights fade, and the applause stops, that's when truth shows up. Nobody checked in. Nobody asked, "Are you okay?" The same people who loved him when he was giving suddenly disappeared when he needed receiving. That's when he learned the difference between supporters and spectators. Supporters help you grow. Spectators just watch to see if you'll fall. And betrayal cuts deep, not because of what they did, but because of who they were. It's not the loss that breaks you, it's the disappointment. He gave them access to his heart, and they sold it for attention. Steve Harvey said that line like he lived it. Because he did. People will smile in your face, call you bro, and the next moment, they'll gossip about you behind closed doors. But here's the truth, that betrayal wasn't your ending. It was your awakening. He started learning to say goodbye without needing closure. Not every goodbye comes with explanation. Some people leave to make space for something better, peace, growth, purpose. Pain became his teacher. Silence became his friend. In loneliness, he discovered clarity. He started to understand, loyalty isn't found in how long someone stays, it's found in what they do when staying gets hard. Fake friends disappear during storms because they were never built to stand in rain. That's the key. Growth doesn't come from comfort. The betrayal wasn't to break you, it was to build you. God doesn't subtract without intention. Every person he removed was blocking the blessing waiting ahead. He stopped asking, "Why me?" and started saying, "Thank you." Because that betrayal taught him boundaries. It taught him that protecting your peace is not selfish, it's survival. He realized, you can't be betrayed by someone who didn't have access. So instead of closing his heart, he built gates. He learned to give love wisely, not freely. And that's when his power returned. Steve was right. Some people don't see your vision because they were never meant to walk your path. Your dream might be too big for their fear, and that's okay. Walk alone if you must. Forgiveness came slowly. Not because they deserved it, but because he did. Holding on to anger was like drinking poison expecting them to hurt. So, he let it go. Not for them, for his peace. He learned the most powerful lesson Steve Harvey ever taught. Your setback is a setup for a comeback. And this time, he wasn't coming back to prove them wrong, he was coming back to prove himself right. Because betrayal doesn't end your story, it begins your rise. There's a moment in every strong person's life when they realize, being alone isn't loneliness, it's alignment. After betrayal, after heartbreak, after silence, you start to see clearly. You see who you are without the noise, without the validation, without the crowd. He stopped waiting for people to check in. He started checking in with himself. Each morning became a new beginning, a silent promise to grow, even if no one was watching. Steve Harvey once said, "You've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable." That's what solitude is, uncomfortable at first, powerful later. The world teaches us to chase attention. But in solitude, he learned to chase purpose. When nobody claps, your discipline becomes your applause. That's when you realize, peace is the loudest sound in a quiet room. He began to write his thoughts every morning, not to impress, but to progress. Each page reminded him, no friend, no follower, no fan can define your worth. As Steve Harvey said, you can't tell big dreams to small minds. So, he stopped explaining and started executing. Running became meditation. Every step, a reminder that progress doesn't need witnesses. He didn't post it. He didn't tell anyone. He just worked. Quietly. Consistently. That's where power lives, in silence. He wasn't missing out. They were. Because solitude showed him what they'd never see, that success is born in isolation and revealed in public. Steve Harvey said it best, "The dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately." In solitude, he found strength. No one believed in his plan, but that didn't matter anymore. When you stop seeking validation, you become unstoppable. When you stop needing company, you start keeping commitment. He didn't post his grind, he lived it. He didn't announce his healing, he became it. Because real growth is quiet. It doesn't need an audience, just consistency and faith. He took that to heart. He began imagining again, not fearing dreams because of who left, but believing in what was next. He realized solitude isn't punishment. It's preparation for greatness. He started understanding why God removed people. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Because sometimes you have to walk alone so you can meet yourself again. He was no longer afraid of being alone. He was afraid of losing himself trying to please others. He built discipline from pain and peace from distance. As Steve Harvey said, if you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Now, he finally believed it. That sentence changed everything. I am enough. He didn't need approval. He didn't need validation. All he needed was focus, faith, and persistence. He once feared solitude. Now he guarded it. Because in silence, he found the voice of his purpose. And that purpose was louder than any applause he'd ever received. He didn't go back. Not to old habits. Not to fake friendships. When peace becomes your priority, anything that disturbs it becomes optional. He finally smiled, not because life was perfect, but because he was finally free. Free from approval, from fear, from pretending. Solitude didn't break him. It built him. It's the same city. Same room. Same man. But his spirit? Unrecognizable. The man who once begged for loyalty now walks with peace. The one who cried over fake friends now thanks God for the lesson. Because now, he's not chasing people, he's chasing purpose. He started from zero again. No noise. No crowd. Just him, his faith, and his grind. And something beautiful happened. Progress became personal. Steve Harvey said, if you want to be successful, you have to jump. There's no way around it. And so he jumped, this time without fear of falling. He remembered those nights, the ones that broke him. But now he sees them differently. Those weren't breakdowns, they were breakthroughs. He had to lose everything fake to find everything real. That quote became his anchor. Failure didn't define him, it refined him. Because every fall carried a lesson. And now, those lessons had built a man no betrayal could destroy. The same people who doubted him started watching again. Not because they cared, but because success attracts attention. But this time, he didn't need them to see. He already saw himself clearly. He didn't want revenge, he wanted results. And the best revenge is always growth. He started helping others not because they helped him, but because pain had made him compassionate. That's how you know you've healed, when you can bless people who once broke you. He understood now, pain was preparation. Every betrayal, every lie, every loss, was a sign that something greater was coming. You can't be promoted without pressure. Success didn't scream, it whispered. It wasn't about fame anymore. It was about freedom. Freedom to live without fear, to love without begging, to dream without doubt. He wasn't angry anymore. He was grateful. Because every fake friend pushed him closer to faith. Every closed door redirected him toward his purpose. He prayed differently now. Not for more friends. Not for validation. But for wisdom, the kind that protects peace and fuels purpose. He finally understood life's hidden truth. Not everyone is your friend, but everyone is a lesson. And when you stop depending on people, you start depending on purpose. That's when it all made sense. Solitude wasn't a punishment, it was a setup. He wasn't abandoned, he was being prepared. For peace. For power. For purpose. Steve Harvey once said, "Do not ignore the passion that burns in you. Chase your gift and you will find your life's purpose." So he did. He chased the gift, not the crowd. And what he found was worth every moment of pain. He realized, no one is your friend forever. But if you learn to be your own friend, you'll never feel alone again. Because the best company you'll ever keep is peace of mind. He finally smiled, not because he made it, but because he made it through. And so he keeps going, not for them, but for the one person who never gave up, himself. If this story touched you, subscribe to Bemotive for more real motivation, real voices, and real change.